All right, y'all, we doing good with the keloid process. This is so funny. I don't know what my mind was thinking, but I literally have tied bandanas before like this. I don't know why I had to even do the double take, but anyways, I finally found a way to get the one bandana back. I'm literally just puzzled right now because I was truly overthinking it. I don't know why. And it may too be because of the size of the keloid area, but anyways, I'm like, why can't I just tie the one bandana? I just sit here and thought about it, but finally got that together. Um, it's probably good the way that I did it though. The other way, just because of how thicker I was able to get it in the back. Because as you tie it in the back, it's going to be a bit smaller. So because the keloid area has went down, it has made it easier for me to do it this way. So at the end of the day, it was the way that I did it. I mean, it made sense, especially because of the area that I had. Like now, I think also too because of the bandages and how wide it needed to be to cover the area. Like it probably made sense, but I don't know. It's funny to me now. I'm like, why ain't these as long as I need them to be? And then I had to end up folding it together. But anyways, kilo area is doing good. In regards to the healing process, it's going through pretty smoothly. I thought it was going to heal a bit quicker, but it's going to take a bit longer just because of that area. But I've been consistently putting the Vaseline on every day, twice a day actually, and so you can see where it's starting to grow back. There's even hair, starting to grow through where the kilo area was, and so tomorrow I'm actually going to be getting the keloids moving on the right side of my face. So what I'll probably do tonight is I'll probably end up lining myself up just because they're going to be shaving this down anyway, so I'm gonna look like I have a patch, so I might as well go ahead and trim it up for myself. But as you can see also, like, look at my facial hair. My facial hair is like pretty much fully grown in there. And so what I'll do is probably just keep the little goatee for a while until this, grows back or whatever, because I want to make sure that this is smooth. But yeah, I mean, y'all was able to see the process as far as my hair being able to grow back, so at least we was able to go through that. But man, it took a minute for all this to grow in, so I'm like, damn, it'd been nice to really have this whole piece, but we need to take care of this. And plus, I also like the mustache goatee look anyway. So at the end of the day, the biggest thing is we want to make sure this gets healed, and we want to make sure that everything is filling in properly. So what we're gonna do is get that done tomorrow, and then as far as for the shoulder area here, probably gonna get that done within the next few weeks. I have to go to a radiologist first because since this area, as I told y'all, is more tender, they're pretty much making me have to go to the radiologist to get radiology done and then scheduling that. So those are some of the updates on the keloid areas. Like, so my skin is looking flawless with the whole diet and stuff that I'm doing. So that's good. It probably would be even looking more flawless if it was real sunny outside like it is maybe in like Miami or on the islands. But because it's cold and stuff in New York and just any other areas, it's just going to be harder to keep up with that true vitamin D. But I do take my vitamins. I do have some vitamin D3. I got iron, all that type of stuff as well too. So I'll make sure to keep up on my regimens with the fasting and stuff. That's been helping as well too. So this is probably the most clear my skin's been, and so I want to keep this up going into like the springtime and summertime and stuff, just to see like how flawless we can actually get in. So I'll probably even be doing like some DIY stuff. I'm gonna have my own lotion and stuff that I made, but I want to work on some other things as well too, just to see like what other products that I can make for myself. I plan on doing my own like pomade, because I'm like, the lotion works really well. I just want to have like all my own products so I know what's going into it. I don't have to worry about all the preservatives and all that type of stuff, or additional products that may not fit my skin and stuff well. So I'm gonna take time to work on that. So when I'm able to get everything kind of aligned with my life and just financially work on the things that I need to, hopefully I can get in a position soon to be able to do that. Then I'll really go ham on the pomades and stuff like that. So yeah, that my goal is to be able to have all the products and stuff around me to be DIY. So just even seeing how smooth it was for the lotion, like that process, like I said, I did another batch. It probably was around maybe December, November, and then I still have enough to where I'll probably go into until the end of this month. So yeah, a lot of times DIY is it's the process of going through it, and then also possibly messing up, all that type of stuff, and then you will have to go through different processes to get it right. But once you do get it right, it's smooth. And so you also realize as well that for a lot of these things, getting it right is kind of like that next step, but getting it to just like a decent level is better than even some of the regular products that you use. So it may not be like it may not have the smell that you want. It may still smell good, or it may not even have like a scent to it, but in the day, the product and stuff may be really smooth on your skin. It may be a lot thicker than you want the first time, but at least you still have a lotion. The next time you can adjust, mixing it more to make sure it's a lot smoother, and then you can add in your essential oils once you know what's best for you. But really, it's just the process of starting. That's what I realized. And a lot of times, for myself, I'm someone that will eventually get it done, but there's things that I've held up because I'm like, I don't know. And like, for instance, my bidet in my apartment, I was like, that's been sitting there for like over a year and some change because I'm thinking, oh, because the plumbing and stuff is older here and all that. Like, man, I don't know. So I was just like, for the longest, it just sat there. It sat there over a year on the side of my right before you went to my bathroom, and as it was sitting there, I was just like, man, it's all good. I ain't even gonna worry about it. And I literally had this thing sitting right here. Like, what's the problem? And then I would use some of those those detergent pods that go into the toilet to clean that off. So I was like, oh man, if I use these, then I can't use the bidet. So kind of really making excuses for myself because the bidet would really make more sense. All I got to do is use all purpose and clean the toilet. And so my motto for this year has been being dauntless, and that's what it was last year. But I changed it to preparation last year, and this year is being dauntless. And there's been a lot of areas in which I've been dauntless in, and there's been others in which I'm trying to get to that point. It's just been a bit difficult, but yeah, so let me just figure it out. And so I did that, and for the bidet, it actually took me like a few hours. The reason being is because a simple mistake on my end. It was like literally a little piece that was inside one of the gauges, and I'm thinking that is a piece that has to go into the bidet because I'm like, why was it not on the other side whenever I was trying to hook that part up? And literally because of that simple mistake, I got frustrated that evening. Water got all over my floor. I had to use my towels and everything, and I couldn't figure it out. I literally had the super come up, and the only thing he did was when he screwed the thing in, and I knew it was that when he came and fixed it. I said, man, this is crazy. But sometimes it's like that. Whenever you're trying to do something, you're overthinking it, and you're just trying to do it right, so you just don't want to mess anything up. So it's like, dang, if I remove this thing, I don't know if this will mess it up. So he literally, all he did was just do the same process I did, and that little piece, I think it fell out of my hamper, so he wasn't even exposed to that piece right there. So all he did was just plug this up. He's like, yeah, it's good. So I'm like, bro, this whole time I had everything done. I had drilled a hole under my sink to get it perfectly aligned with the hot water and all that. I had got the cold water coming directly from the toilet itself. I had everything right, but that little piece there that wasn't even supposed to be there is what messed me up. But that's the thing about doing DIY. Like, you're going to go through frustrating times like that. You're going to go through like ups and downs when it comes to like being creative, but it's dope because you're learning during the process. So the next time, you know how to do it. You learn different things. If you think about it, what's funny is that process in itself, a lot of people typically, because they can't get to the hot water part or because they are, afraid to do whatever, a lot of people just stick with a cold bidet. And I was like, no, I want the hot water on my bidet. So drilled the hole in, made it work. And so I was like, sometimes it's I'm a person where I don't just like to stop at one step. Like, hey, let's see if we can actually get to the next step. Let's see if we can actually go further. See if we can get exactly what we want. So, yeah, it's just a part of being creative. You got to try different things. For myself, like I said, I know the mindset that I'm creating is going to be great for the future because it's just helping me to build into more of the person that I want to be and step outside of my zones. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's easy to see what people have, where people are, and all that type of stuff. But when you're working on and what you're destined for, it hits you differently because you don't. And I'm kind of switching this into a whole nother zone from the keloids to the bidet to life, but it all works on together. It plays into each other with the keloids and all that. You can't focus on the too much of the now, being like, oh man, this is what it is, and it looks terrible, whatever. You got to be able to embrace yourself during the time, and as you move forward, then you'll realize, what, like, things are gonna get better. I can make adjustments. Like this period right now is just it's an ugly period. It's a period that sucks or whatever. But when you are able to see the positives, as I said before, in yourself in the current moments, you realize that things can get better. When you see videos of other people that are going through different transitions and stuff, where they've had downs and they've been able to get out of it, you know that things are going to be better. It may not be the exact situation that you want, but and I have to tell myself this. It's but when you are destined for a lot more, you will see more in a different lane than others see it. And I think a big thing going to like the 20s, 30s, and really even people in their 40s, it's like people are so caught up in this day and age on like trying to get it quick. And there's been a lot of times like in my 20s and stuff where I'm like, man, you know, it'd be dope to get this and that, you know, you get a little money here and there, you know, it'll be dope. But you realize that the past and how our parents and elders generations were, that's more the realistic side. You know, yeah, there's ways to be able to get a lot of money and stuff nowadays, or different ways to get income, but the longevity of what that looks like is not what it's meant to be, or not what it's portrayed to be. Because it's easy for you to get a quick, you know, rack of money or whatever, but you know, you got taxes. You also have to where, you know, some of these different ins and outs don't have as much longevity. So there's a different mix. It's like with nowadays you have different ways in which you can get income, but you have to be able to focus on the longevity, not the long term. In regard to the older generation, they just focus on longevity. So as far as the things that they could have maybe done in the short term are ways in which they could have, you know, hey, put money into investments or whatever. But instead, it's just like, hey, I'm just going to work this job for forever, and then that's it. So the thing that I'm learning more and more each day is like the balance is what is key. It's like if I can be able to make a good amount of money with the salaries and stuff we get nowadays, but then also be cool with living below my means and then putting a lot of that money into investments and stuff like that, then I'm gonna be able to get to the point that I want to a lot quicker, and I'll be able to, you know, retire or whatever at a lot quicker time.